All right, and welcome back to In the Moment Art. How's it going? Today we are going to be drawing
Mario.
Mario who? The Mario, right? The Super Mario. You know, Mario was around when I was your age too. Back in my day. Yeah, that was like one of the first really cool video games. The coolest parts about the game was figuring out that you could jump really high onto that flag and get extra points at the very end. That was a very exciting moment. Anyway, today we are going to be drawing Super Mario. He's going to be in a running pose with his fist in the air.
Or a jump.
Or a jump or a celebration pose. All right. This character came very highly recommended by our followers, so we're gonna give it a go, okay? So we're gonna do portrait view, so up and down, 8.5 by 11 sheet of printer paper. We've got our Sharpie marker. You can use a pencil first if you like. We're just gonna use our pens, and then we'll probably finish it up with markers, color pencils, a little bit of both, okay?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna put Mario's head way up here at the top. We wanna make sure we have enough room for his body. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little teeny line a little bit above the halfway point. This is gonna be kind of where his chin is. I'm just gonna make a little line like that. See how it's a little bit above? Halfway would be right about here, about 1 inch above. So I wanna make sure we put his head in and then we've got room for the body, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and do his arm first because his arm is going to be in front of his face, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a little sloped line coming up. This is going to be his suspender, and then we're going to go right into his arm, okay? And the arm is going to come up a little bit further. It's going to be a straight line, and it's going to be almost be straight up, but not quite. So it's going to be a little longer than the one we just did. Okay.
Okay.
All right, now let's go and make another one right next to it. Okay. Parallel lines, right? That's kind of his wrist area.
Okay.
And then we're going to come all the way down. We're going to extend that arm all the way down so that it's the same, a little bit below where we started. Okay, so this part is straight and this one's got what looks like his elbow, but it's actually his suspender. All right, so now we're going to do his hand up here. So for the bottom of the glove is going to be a big U shape, okay? And we're going to start and finish kind of right there and right there. And I'm just going to sweep around and line that U up with his wrist. Okay? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so up here we're going to do his thumb first because you always got to do what's in the front, right? And his thumb is going to be, excuse me, like an olive shape. Kind of an oval.
Because it's bent.
Right. And we're not going to complete it. It's going to be like a reverse C. See that? Because we need his other fingers to go into that. Then we can go ahead and connect this line here.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to do a big sweeping circle starting right here, and we're going to finish right here. So I want to show you what that looks like. This is going to be it's like he's got a big oven mitt. He's saying, Luigi, let's cook. Doesn't quite look like a hand yet, I understand. All right, so we're gonna put this little wrinkle in on the other side to match the first side.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna start with the fingers coming down, okay? So this first finger, actually I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. They get a little closer together. And 4. Just little tiny ones, just as a guide. So now what I can do from each one of those dots is I'm gonna come straight over and down, okay? So I'm gonna come over and down. And this one actually, we can use that same line to close off the thumb. Over and down. Over and down, same formula. Now the pinky at the bottom is going to be a little different. So instead of coming over and down, we're going to swoop up with a little half line. And come around. Pinky looks a little different because we can see that whole guy.
Okay.
Okay. So now we are going to, let's go ahead and finish that one suspender so it doesn't look like his elbow. So this is going to be, we're going to turn that line that we had into a teardrop with a button on it. So that teardrop shape is that suspender.
Okay.
Okay. And then let's hold off on the other suspender. Now we're going to do his whole face. Okay. So his face is in front of his hat. His hand is in front of his face. So we did the hand part. So now that we have the suspender, we're going to do his chin. We're going to start right here in that same spot. Remember we said that was right at the chin point. So we're going to do, his face kind of looks like a cloud. Okay. So we're going to have his chin come out.
Okay.
And then we got another little one. It's going to come out even further. That's his cheek.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and draw his nose. And his nose is going to be an oval shape. And we're going to come all the way around, but we're not going to complete the whole shape.
He has a big nose.
A good sized nose.
Clown nose, but just not red.
So we're going to start right about there. I'm going to finish right about there. And we're going to put his, we'll put his mustache on too. Try to cover up that dot if we made a dot. All right, now we're going to use the mustache to fill it in. So the mustache comes way over here by his eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little bubbles on the mustache. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And they kind of get smaller as you get closer. And the last one's just going to kind of tuck in there like that. All right, let's go ahead and fill in that mustache. Unless you have plans of making it some
Color.
other color other than black.
Okay.
All right, so we got the nose, we got the mustache. See how I got the nose coming up a little bit right there? Okay, so on the back part of the nose, we got a line that's coming up. This is going to be the back part of his head. A little bit curved. Okay. And then right about here is where the hat's going to connect. So we're going to come up a line a little bit there. Now, his forehead, where it connects to the hat, it's not quite a straight line because the bill of the hat makes kind of a googly shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down a little bit, up, and straight over to my line. Gonna take a look at what that shape looks like.
Okay.
All right, now we can put the eyes in. So the back eye is gonna be right here on this line of the nose, and it's just gonna be a little half circle there. With one oval inside, another oval inside of that with a highlight. And we can go ahead and put his eyebrow on too. The eyebrow is actually going to come up and over the line that we made for the hat. And it's okay that we're going over that line because we're going to fill it in black. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so the front eye, we're gonna make it bigger than this one because it's closer to us, right? It's in the foreground.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be right here. We wanna leave a little bit of space here and a little bit of space here. We don't want it touching either spot. Okay, and it's gonna look something like that. Feel free to use your pencil if you feel you need to. Same idea with the eye. We got the main oval, another oval on top, and then we got a highlight. Same formula.
It's really hard to get that little highlight in.
Yeah, especially with the Sharpie, sometimes it'll bleed and make it smaller.
Yeah, see it right there, it's bleeding.
Yeah, you always gotta go a little bigger than you think. All right, the inside of the hat, we're gonna continue this line. Looks kind of like that. That's the underside of the bill.
Okie.
All right, so now we're gonna come all the way around. I'm gonna make a little mark here. We're gonna go from this point to this point. And we're gonna come out right about there, and we're just gonna do a big swooping swooping circle.
Okay.
Okay. Now the top part of the hat is going to be right in the middle of the thumb, and it's going to finish right about there. Big swooping circle. Wow, I got right to the edge, which is where you want to be if you're going to fill that page up. Okay, so we got his hat, then he's got an M on the front of his hat, so we're going to draw the circle first. So we draw a circle with the bottom part hiding, and the M is kind of like a lightning bolt. It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, kind of like diagonal lines, like a lightning bolt, so just straight lines for the M. And we're gonna fill it in so it looks something like that. All right, we're missing a couple things though. He's got a sideburn over here. And his mouth. All right, so his mouth is kind of hiding underneath the mustache here. That's okay. We got a line right here. Okay. And we're just gonna semicircle. And then it looks like it only shows the top row of teeth. Excuse me.
Bless you.
And his tongue is real simple. We just make a little triangle shape right there and fill it in with black. Okay? Now we're ready to do the second suspender, which is going to be behind his chin. Okay? That's going to start right about there. And it's going to end right about there. And it's going to look just like the other one. It's going to be a little smaller, but the button's going to be on top. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the button, and it's going to be a little bit more of an oval shape. If you look at my button, see how it's a little smaller and it's a little more like an oval. So now I can come down. And the second line is actually going to go to the middle of the oval. So that makes the button kind of sit on top. And you can go ahead and connect underneath now. And then his armpit. Okay.
Okay.
So now we're ready for the other hand. All right. So let's go ahead, and that's going to start right at the top of this button. Okay. And we're going to do the thumb first. Okay. So the thumb is going to come up. Just like a curly Q, like that. No? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I know he looks silly with one finger.
Doesn't even look like a finger.
Yeah, it'll come around. All right, so now this is pretty much going to be a, let's do his knee first. So his knee is going to be down here. And we're just going to draw a good sized semicircle. So now we know where to put his hand because his knee's kind of up. This is the up foot. And we're going to go back to the hand. Back to the hand. And we're going to go around like a semicircle with a little knuckle on top. So that kind of looks like this. So we're going to go here, kind of like a cloud. See how it's not quite a perfect circle? I just put a little notch right there. All right, so now we can complete the fingers. So there's 1, 2, 3 fingers. I don't know why they make 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3,
No,
4. Oh, it's 3 lines, but 4 fingers. Okay. So we got 1, 2, and then the third one is actually going to be the first one that we can see. And the fourth one is just a little itty bitty pinky finger out here. Okay. Fingers and hands are tough. They're tough to draw, but we work at it. All right, now it's time to do the legs. So let's go back over here, back over to armpit. All right, so he's gonna have his straight leg, his pushing leg off this way, and this one's gonna be up in the air, okay? So we gotta do his backside here, just a little, I guess that's his rear end. And then his leg starts to come out straight. Make sure you use your whole page. Then we got his heel. Now we're gonna do his shoe. There's gonna be 3 humps on this shoe. So 1, 2, and then the last one's gonna be pretty small. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to draw the bottom of his foot now. So it's going to come down. It's going to have a little notch in it. Okay. So now we can start. I'm going to go ahead and complete the shape before we go filling it in. So here's our parallel line, just like we did with the arm, right? All right, and then we're gonna bring this around. So that's the shape we're going for the overall foot. Kind of looks weird, but that's because it's his ankle, his foot, and the tread on the bottom. So now what we can do, we can just trace. So we can draw a line here with a little, so here's the sole of his foot. See that? So I just went from here to there. And then we're going to go to the next crook. This one is just going to be
Okay.
Okay, and that's kind of his pant leg. All right. His underbelly, we'll call this his underbelly. All right, the back side of his leg, we can connect those two together. So this knee and leg is lifted up, so the leg part's going to be really short, and we're going to see the underside of the foot, okay? So that's going to really help with perspective, okay? So what we're going to do is going to do that little heel part that comes off. And these shapes are going to be much more circular than these ones were over here. Okay. So we're going to do the top part. I cut off the top of his foot there. Footless Mario. Alright, now we're just going to draw this big jelly bean shape here. Alright. Now when we connect this line here, I just want a little, where the heel is, we're going to do that cloud shape, okay? Oops. See how I did that little cloud bubble right there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, so now we're looking at the bottom of his shoe, so we're going to do something a little different. We're going to swoop around this way, kind of like a big peanut, you know, like a peanut shape.
Mm-hmm. Or like a skull, a long skull.
Mm-hmm. Then we got a couple lines underneath for the tread of the shoe. This is a really important line here. It separates the forefoot from the heel part of the shoe.
Now that actually looks like a shoe.
Yeah. Sometimes it comes together at the very end.
Okay.
All right, we're done. Time to color, okay? So feel free to color Mario however you feel you would like to. I'm going to go kind of with the traditional colors. We'll see what you come up with. Yeah, we're going to speed this part up and give you a little music, and we're going to color this guy in.
Okay. I'm going to do the traditional colors too, but...
All right, we are all done with our Super Mario. How do you think we did?
I think we did good.
Yeah. I think that was a little tougher than I anticipated.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird shapes in Super Mario, especially when he's running with his arm up like that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed drawing with us today, and go ahead and finish coloring up. And hey, almost forgot our high five. Good job. And we will see you all again next time on In the Moment Art.
Bye.
Bye.